Leslie.
Adele, we are back again. Isn't this like so fantastic? This is like, we just opened registration this week and it has been like kick.
Yes.
Yes. That other word that goes with that. It's been so fantastic, and we appreciate each and every one of you for supporting us and for coming into our beautiful community. It's just been really wonderful, hasn't it?
It has been wonderful, and it's nice to see some of the people that were there last year that are coming back, plus some of new students coming in, and they're coming in from different parts of the world, which has been really, really exciting to see, and also different mediums.
I know.
Yeah,
yes.
It's all crossing over.
It is. And that, when we set out to do this, that was our thing. We wanted to create a worldwide community, and it has happened. It is just so wonderful. I love it. Yeah.
Yes, I do too. And every day is exciting to see the emails come in and the registrations and people joining the community. And I'm sure that's going to continue growing because it's a safe place to come in and show your art.
That's what I really appreciate. I love seeing everybody post what they're doing, and people reaching out and saying, asking questions. What do you guys think about this? I just, want to reassure everybody that it is a safe community. That's exactly, what it is for. Definitely.
Yeah.
And for fun too. Yes.
That too. Yes, it is a lot of fun to be there and to meet new people and for the artists to connect with each other, which has always been our big mission.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
So what new do you have to show us, Leslie?
Well, as part of the first 200 to sign up for the Art Box presentations, you receive this Colors in a Box that will be mailed directly to you, and it is gorgeous. And today I wanted to just kind of give you an idea what you could do with it. So it comes in this beautiful case so that you have something to store everything in, and when you open it, you have 12 different cards in there. So they show colors with just creative things on the front. And what I think is really cool is on the back of them, it talks about what the colors mean spiritually, what they symbolize. And so I thought it'd be just kind of a fun thing for people to see, like, how can I use these besides just, love them? So this is one way that I think is like, I think that as artists, a lot of times we all get stuck in using the same color over and over and over again. I mean, I know I do. And so what you can do is take these cards and just shuffle them around like this, and then just draw, without looking at them, I'm not looking at them, just draw out 3 colors. Oh, this is interesting. And look at these 3 colors and try to work in these 3 colors. I just think you will get so many different results for it, and they'll all complement each other no matter what. So, and these, so I just think that's a really cool way to like stretch your imagination and then you can also look at the back and look at what they mean, and that might work into your piece also. So, I mean, there's like oodles of things that you can do with this. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, it's really an exciting piece. And we will be, for those that have already signed up for the Art Box presentation, those will all be shipping out in October. So so don't worry, we got your name and your address, and we're already preparing the labels, but just to let you know that they will be shipping at that time.
Yes. So it's now. Go ahead, Adele.
Go ahead. You go.
Okay, I was just going to say it's all about the anticipation, the fun of receiving something in your mailbox from us. So it'll be really fun.
Yeah, we were excited to put it together. Yes.
Yes.
And then we have other goodies. We have our paper doll as well,
which is absolutely gorgeous. And this was made by our own teacher, Susie McMahon, out of Tasmania. So And that is actually, if you're in the Art Box presentation, that is available right now for you guys. So we will add new things every week into it. So yes, it's
Right.
great.
And also the students, when they sign up for the course, it'll be there in their welcome email. So we're real excited about
So
that.
everybody gets it. Yeah. And Susie
Yes.
did such a gorgeous job on that. I mean, it is really beautiful.
I think everything that we have to offer in the way of gifts is just really exciting and really thought out, and it's going to help anybody continue their artistic journey. So that's exciting as well.
And we have more coming.
Yes, we do.
Yes. Yeah. And
but we have
more coming. Yes, go ahead.
No, we have a special guest today.
Yes, so we are so excited to have Ellen back. This is her second year with us, and she is a felter. And well, let's bring Ellen on so everyone can meet her. Hello. Hey, Ellen, how are you?
Very good. How are you guys?
We're doing
great.
Yeah,
excited to have you with us.
I'm very excited to be here. And Leslie, I have to say, I love that idea with the art box. Time and time again, I use the same color, my favorite over and over. I'm going to use that as a challenge because I think open up the doors of creativity and who knows what's going to happen. So I'm excited. Yeah.
Yes. That's and those colors that I just drew, yellow, purple, and black, I have never used that combo ever. So who knows? Stay tuned.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you know how it is. Art is like a box full of colors, right?
Yes, it is.
Absolutely.
It is. So, Ellen, one of the things we love to do is we will have people who comment. It takes them a little bit. It's a little bit of a delay just because of streaming things. And we do ask you if it's streaming into different formats, or so if you people out there are writing comments, would you please add your name in, because a lot of times it won't tell us. It'll just say from Facebook, so we don't know. We want to know who you are, so please add your name so Ellen can address you directly. So let's start. I think one of the things that is really fun is to kind of get into the artist, their backstory. It makes it, I think it gives people an idea of like how you got to where you are today.
Well, the first time I had art outside of school, I would say besides my upbringing with my mother, I was in 4th grade, and on Tuesdays I got out early because I went over to the local museum, which was about 40 minutes away, and I learned how to draw a pail of water that looked 3-dimensional and had water in it. The next time I took a drawing class outside of school was I went to Rhode Island School of Design for a 5-week summer course. It was after my junior year of high school.
Wow.
And Friday was the drawing class. So I went Monday, Tuesday, all my different classes, but I didn't buy anything needed for the drawing class until I knew exactly how, because that was the first time I was away from home. I had just opened a checking account, and so I was very careful with my money. And so I walked into the building, and of course, I'm always early. And it's a huge building, old building, 2nd floor. And I walk in, the ceilings are really, really tall. The windows are huge.
Wow.
I walk in, I'm the only one there. And then I look over in the corner, and there's kind of like a fire escape thing with a mattress underneath. And there was a man laying on this mattress sleeping. And I thought, oh my gosh, did he come in? Like, did he sneak in at night? And this is where he's sleeping and everything. So I was like very quiet, sat down. And then other people started coming. It's like, ooh, look, there's this guy there. And everyone's really quiet. And then the teacher came in and she said, for those people who haven't gotten who have not bought their supplies and everything, you can go down to the bookstore and get them. So I went down and then got them, walked up. And as I entered the room, here was this man disrobing stepping up on the pedestal, and I stood there and thought,
Hmm.
if my hometown could see me.
That is such a great story, and it's kind of like welcome to the world of art.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I grew up in a very rural town, not much happening at all. And, I did gravitate to art. I think because of my background with, growing up with my mom, she was very creative. And every year we would have, we had a large, probably a 8x8, 10x10 sandbox. So every year we got a new load of sand to play in.
Yeah.
And we did sand casting in there with laughter. And we made the wax candles there and everything. So we had a good time in our sandbox, being very.
Wow.
Yeah.
How fun.
And-
Nice
and-
childhood memories. Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you so how did you start making art? So you've had a lot of colorful things already happen, and how did you start making art?
It was with my sewing machine. Well, first hand sewing, actually.
Yeah.
I remember learning how to hand sew from my great grandmother. She did.
Wow. Yeah.
She made an apron for me, and I think I was about 11 years old, and my grandmother was doing a trapunto tablecloth, and she entered it into the National Embroidery Guild or something like that. And so she was teaching me how to embroider. And so here I had a really large embroidery hoop. And from that time, picking out all of my yarns, I just loved the textures. So I had all these thick, different textured yarns, and to try to embroider with that was kind of a little bit hard. And being a first-time embroiderer, I would go around the hoop instead of up and through the hoop. So by the end of my, making that first piece, all the fabric was all scrunched together. So what we did was we cut it out, leaving a little margin, turned it underneath, and sewed it onto a pillow that was actually already made. So that solved that problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Well, we know that you love to make art, Ellen, and I know just seeing your pieces, they're just so full of color, and they're very dynamic. And I know, what does art do for you? Why do you make art?
oh my gosh, I first of all, I have to make art. Actually, I have been on vacation. I've been on vacation for
We
the
won't
past.
tell anybody.
And I haven't done anything creative. And now I'm getting ready for a studio tour, so I haven't done anything creative. And I can really feel that in my soul. I just really have to get back to being creative. It brings me joy. It's just, and my head is just full of ideas. So gives me time to work them out and get them out of my head so I can even make more.
Yeah. Well, like you have said before, it brings you a lot of joy. I think that's one of your statements that you have made in the past. And I think it brings joy to a lot of artists. The feel of working on a piece and seeing it finished and then sharing it.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And that's, we, one of our other interviews, that's what we talked about too, is that, art is a two-way street. I mean, we create, but it also has to be received, I mean, and sharing it or, selling it or however you choose to do it is like such a wonderful thing. And I love that so much. And we know that we will have a lot of beginners joining us in this conference this year. And we wonder, do you have any advice to give those beginning artists?
Well, I would say basically just get to it. Be inspired, but don't be intimidated. Everyone has their own voice. Everyone, you can give the same materials to everybody and they will come out with something different. So you can admire other people's stuff, but that's not your voice. And I always say, think about things more than once. give it some thought, because the first things that come in are things that have been influencing you, but think about it a little further, and then you'll really be able to get down to what's in your soul and what's really what you want to say with your art.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
good
that advice.
Yeah,
I love
that's
that,
great
and
advice.
that is the big thing, is to, art is from our soul and it is our voice, but we do need to think about what we're doing too. And I just recently listened to something, and it was that being an artist, you use a lot of brain power, and so that's sometimes why artists are notoriously like they isolate themselves, because they need that downtime just to like recoup everything again. And
Wouldn't that be so interesting if they could monitor the activity of an artist's brain and see if
yes,
I think that'd be a
Oh,
great
that would
idea.
That would be fascinating.
I
It
bet
would
it's
be.
out there. I bet it's out there somewhere. I am going to research it and see if I
Yeah.
can find that, because there's got to be all kinds of synapse going off,
yeah.
and the whole electromagnetic field has got to grow. And anyway, so, and I see we have a couple people
Yes,
that
we
came
do.
in.
We have Maria. She's
Hey,
saying, "Hey, Maria."
Okay.
Yeah, so glad that you're here. And then we have Angela.
Hi, Angela.
Yes,
Art
we
is
do
therapy.
think, yes, it is therapy. We love it. We love those
Yes.
5 days.
Yes.
It's just so much fun.
Yes. And if you could tell us your name, because it would be scary, wouldn't it? I think for any of us.
It would be interesting. I always say, like, if there's someone who I admire, I always say, I would love to be in their brain for one day.
I know.
Yes. Yes.
I think that is, I sometimes think it'd be so interesting just to be able to switch brains with somebody. I mean, still have your own soul or whatever, but to switch brains and see things through their eyes and the way they see it, it's
It would be fascinating. Yeah.
That's
Yeah. Okay. Sounds sci-fi to me, but
yeah. So we also love to step into your studio, and we this way, you viewers out there can have get a personal feel of like the way you work. So was there one tool, or is there one tool that's most important to you?
Well, I thought about this question because you sent them to us.
Yes.
yes.
Thank goodness. Yeah.
And there isn't the only tool that I could come up with, because I work in so many different materials, are my hands.
Ha, very good.
Very good.
My tool. Because I take it with me and use them when in whatever medium I'm using.
That's true.
I
That's
love
true.
that. Yes.
Yeah.
And it all comes from here.
Yep.
Yes. Yep.
And many times my graphics and some of the graphics that I use and some of my artwork, my graphic artwork, I have lots of hands happening.
Mhm.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Yeah. I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Is there something else that you can't live without, Ellen?
I know.
This is a trick question. Trick question. Trick question.
You know the answer, Adele?
Besides our computers.
I don't know of any. I mean, because I go from clay to polymer clay. I work in metal and precious metal clay, in wool, silks and paints and graphics. So my hands are the one constant tool that that I use and always have with me. I guess I also need my brain. We talked about our brain, that's another tool.
Yes.
And so you've talked about many different things. Is there an element of art that you enjoy working with the most, and why is this so?
Well, right now I would have to say it's in felting.
Mm-hmm.
And the magic of felting is if you can think of it basically you can create it. And I'm fairly new to felting. It's been, well, I would say less than 10 years. But since retiring in 2016, I've been, I would say, full-time felting with mixed in clay. And I actually have put my clay aside for right now.
Uh-huh.
And because felting gives me just tremendous amount to explore. All different methods, all different techniques. There's just endless. And now I have a lot of wool that I really need to use. So
yeah.
It's amazing how much our supplies grow.
Right.
Well, you just say, it's color this year with your theme. You just show any fiber person color, and you know what? We need it all.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
true.
Need it all.
Right. And you need that exact color.
Gosh,
I mean, I just bought black fabric because I needed a certain texture of black fabric. I mean, like I don't have enough black, it's that certain whatever. Yeah.
Yes.
Now, I've been buying my wool online, but I just recently discovered 15 miles away from my house, there is a woman who sells online. And I went and picked something up from her. And she said, "Oh, if you want to go upstairs," it's like, "Oh, no. Well, okay." And I don't need anything at all. And we went upstairs and oh my gosh, I came home with a pile of wool that I do not need, but I certainly wanted.
Yes. Well, you will be on the creative path for some time now. You've got it. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Well, I know you love felting, but what's the favorite part of the whole process that you like?
I think this is first thinking it up. The doing can sometimes be very boring or repetitive because you're felting and rolling and everything. So it's really to see the end product, because I have an idea of what I want it to become. It doesn't start out that way at all because of how you have to lay it out and how it shrinks and the transformation that happens in the process. So you really don't know how it's going to turn out until the very end.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember early on, I was in my studio and rolling and rolling and rolling and tossing to full it and help it shrink. My husband came down and said, "Do you really enjoy this?"
That's so great.
And I turned to him, I said, "No, not really, but I have a vision and I need to get it through."
That's funny.
I love that. And
Yeah.
so you go through this I think it's actually a beautiful process of felting. It is like kind of a magic type of thing.
Yeah.
And how do you know when your piece of art is finished?
Well, with felting, there's a certain shrinkage that you should work towards, because if you don't shrink it enough, then it's just not, it's not professional. It's not, it hasn't gone through its final transformation. So I can go by the shrinkage, but I like to add things to my pieces. I like three-dimensional and more sculptural pieces. So how do I know when it's really done?
Yeah.
Well, lately, there was, when I was doing the goddesses last year, I made a goddess that was very much with a friend of mine in mind, and I wanted to create. I wanted to add more. I kept thinking it needs more. It needs more. It needs something else coming off of the body, and I tried and tried, and then nothing worked. So I took it away. I said, "It's done." So you never really know until you really work it, walk away, come back, and settle into it, and it's done.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like the thing that you said is sometimes you need to walk away. As artists, we're so in it, and that you can't even see it anymore. And so stepping away and, like you said, trying something or several somethings, and then it just doesn't work, and then I think that's great advice. I think that's really
Another
good.
thing
Yeah.
I do, another thing I do is take a photograph.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
It changes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That
It
helps.
just changes it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That really makes a difference.
It's stunning what shows up in the photograph, Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
That you might not see. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually redesigned an entire doll body from taking a photograph. I'm like, whoa, that proportions are way off. And in real life, I didn't see it until I took the photograph. And I'm like, wow, that was amazing. Yeah.
That helps.
Well, we know that you're always in your studio, Ellen, whether you're doing pottery or you're doing felting or you're painting. But what happens when you get that creative block? Do you just walk off? Do you go to a show? Do you take a walk? What do you do?
I haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
Great.
That's great.
I am just, and I think that's why I like to work in so many different materials, because I come up with an idea and then I decide what material will show this best.
Yeah.
And so when I wake up and don't know what to do, then I just go to, what idea and where I should go and use that material. So I think you can get burnt out and then, what should I do next? But with so many different materials that I work in, I don't really have any downtime.
And don't you find working in the different materials, they all kind of relate back and forth? I mean, you work like in clay and you're like, oh, I bet I could do this in felt, and vice versa, Yeah.
I find that many of my forms in felt are the same way that I work in clay.
Yeah.
Very similar. Very similar.
Yeah. I love that.
That's interesting. Well, we have a couple of comments here. Let's see. This one here. Yeah.
Thank you. We love sharing this with you guys too.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun. And then
it is wonderful to watch the process.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what we were just talking about.
That's so great.
Yeah.
And I think if you're a potter, you've got the stamina to become a felter.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You're probably right on that one. And then we have
that has to be
Sandy. That has to be
Sandy. Yeah.
Well, we think it's you, Sandy. If it is, let us know.
Yes, and other Facebook user, let us know who you are too, because we want to know who you are. Yeah. Sometimes your name doesn't come up. We don't know. We don't know why. It's just the way it happens. So now we were in your studio, and let's get a little bit into your art and your inspiration. Most artists do have maybe a favorite piece that they work in, but we also know that each artist is very individual and strives to be individual and unique. And it's easy for us to forget that there's a nonverbal way of this process, like the whole thinking about this and doing this. And so is there something that you have designed that you just love?
Well, I do love the combination of the pottery, the raku vessels with the sculptural tops.
Mm-hmm.
I think combining materials is really fascinating, and how they work together. And so when I do my raku pots, I make them first. And it's very interesting because working in clay, you don't see the results until the very end.
Yeah.
Working in felt, you have the colors immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So you can choose the colors. But when you're glazing a pot, you don't know what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
So I usually do my raku pieces. Well, I do my raku pieces first, and then I can match the colors.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'll look at my pots. So I work in series. So I'll have a collection of my raku pieces, and each one speaks differently. And I'll take a look at the pot, and then I'll create something special for that pot. Or I might have something in mind to do with the felting and see and find that pot that will be complementary to the felted.
Well, they're amazing. Your pieces are just amazing. And the two mediums, they work together so well with the pottery and the felt. And, it was funny when I first met Ellen, I was looking at your art, and here I was under the impression that the pieces were probably about yay big, if I could. I never thought that they were 36 inches tall until I saw a picture of Ellen standing next to it in a gallery, and I went, oh my goodness, those are big pieces.
Every artist has their size that they're most comfortable with.
Yes.
I admire all those people that work so tiny, because that is not my size.
Yeah.
Well, they're amazing pieces. But Ellen, what inspires you to create these pieces?
It's the love of nature. It's the movement of it's just the movement of the earth and the way things grow and how they're structured. It's just examining nature is unbelievable, and the forms that are just the pods, they're just absolutely amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, they're beautiful.
That. Yeah.
I love all your pieces.
I love the hardness of the pottery and the softness of the felt, and just bringing those two together. I think that's really wonderful. And this year with our Connection Summit, you are doing felting with our students again, which is so the two classes are really wonderful. And what inspired you to create these, or what gave you the idea to create these for our Connection Summit this year?
Well, for the flowers, I know that people are not potters, but I did come up with a way that you can create a flower and use a glass vase. And by using a glass vase, you can even show the root system, which I think is really nice with that. So everyone can create a flower. Flower, I do not have a green thumb at all. So it's very interesting that I chose flowers. But this way you can have blooms throughout every season. And I'm all for being low maintenance.
And in any color, you can create any color. And I really love the part that you said about creating a root system. I think that is really fantastic. And I love the glass vase. That'll be really interesting to see what people come up with.
People can also make little felted stones. And so
yes.
Oh yeah, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Underworld.
Yes.
Yeah, we're real excited that you're teaching for us at the summit, and also you're offering a second class to do like wearable art, which is very nice.
And it's also part with the flowers. So I've continued that flower theme, and I go big and bold. Why not? And I love the size of these purses. They're larger than just the, you can carry more than just your iPhone and your wallet. You can do a little bit more, but they're just a comfortable size. And I have some that I can show you.
Okay, just a second. Let me get you on a big screen. Hold on a second. Because we want everybody.
We want full view, man.
We want to get, yes, absolutely. There we go.
So here we go. So I love this one because one of the flowers is on the body.
I love that.
Yep. And this piece.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
That's nice.
It also has a pocket on the inside.
Wow.
So I put my phone in there because, how many times are you struggling to find something? And I think the phone rings, you need to get it. So it's really very accessible. And I've done a little bit more embellishing I've created the petal and then embroidered it a little bit. There.
Yeah, love that.
The pansy. And then I've got the calla lily.
Yes, that's great.
I love that piece.
The yellow centers here.
Yeah,
It's
those
really
are
hard
so
to do
pretty.
everything backwards on.
I know it is. Yeah, everything's mirrored. Yeah,
So that's that.
That's beautiful.
yeah,
I love the tendrils. Yeah.
I do too. Yeah, that's really.
I've made them on a crossbody, so I have the strap very long. But everyone can decide what size they want to put the strap
Mhm.
for themselves. Yeah. So those are my purses that I'm
Wonderful.
They're
Yeah.
great.
Great.
They're
And can we
just
take a
beautiful.
look at your flowers that we
Yes.
can
I
kind
wanna
of see them in
those.
the background? Yeah.
Well, I'll show you this. This is the pot.
Okay.
Yeah.
A nice glaze, but I've included the root system.
Oh, that's
Oh,
so.
I've
fabulous.
got beads going on and beads inside, so you can easily make the stem, the roots, and then here's this inside
Yeah. Yeah.
glass beads as embellishments, and there's wire in each one of the petals, and
Those
also
are fabulous.
Yes.
so you can rearrange,
Yeah.
like.
I love that. Yeah. I'm just so digging that root system, man. I just love that.
Those are beautiful, Ellen.
Thank you.
Yes, love it. And,
Well, I don't want y'all to get sick, me moving everything.
yeah, so great.
Well, we're
And
always excited about you teaching for us, and it's just it's such a pleasure to see all of the work that the students do and how involved they get in with the felting and the different. I mean, you give them one thing and they wind up doing other things and
Yes.
different. It's just really
Yes. I love
a lot of fun.
Yep, I love seeing the interaction in my classes with the posting, so
Mhm.
the sharing and creating the community. I love sharing and I love teaching, and I love interacting. And since we can't be in person together, I think this is the next best thing.
yes.
Because the
Yes.
Facebook community gives us that connection and community. The videos I try to be very, very thorough with my videos. I don't want to bore anyone with all the rolling and the rolling. So I shorten that a whole lot. The videos are maybe 30 minutes, which takes, much, much, much longer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoy connecting with everybody.
And I love the one thing about doing it as online is we can have teachers and students from around the world all together in one group. And like Adele had mentioned, this year we have a lot of people coming in from around the world this year. I mean, we did last year, but like a lot more. And it's so cool to see this whole community come together and share art and do art and watch art. And, it's just so much fun. I love it.
I also love the fact that you can do more than one class. Like you can you can choose a class to work on during the summit, but you can also collect them for later.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Your own time. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah. And
Well-
thank you for pointing that out, because all the classes are downloadable. And last year we had several students take all the classes and then do them through the year. And now they're ready for, this year's summit. So so you can always have all this inspiration with you all year long. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's an exciting 5 days. All teachers are on deck,
Yes.
helping everyone. And Leslie and I are on the computer from the time we get up in the morning until we go to bed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
It's
tons
so
of fun.
great. It is. It's like, and that's a wonderful thing is everybody, even though the summit hasn't started, the Facebook groups have. So, the students are coming into the Facebook groups, the teachers are already there. People are already starting to talk about everything, and we're still, a couple months away from it. So it's happening already. So it's
And
great.
it's starting soon. You say a couple
Yeah,
months,
I know. We know that. We actually know that. we have our little piles of things that we still need to accomplish, but
Well,
it'll happen. It did last year, and we're at it again. Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
Well,
Yeah.
there's a lot of
Yeah, you guys are just really playing you're giving your A game there.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that many don't know. It's absolutely tons of hours being poured into this. And, but it gives us such a pleasure to see it all come together and to see the artists come together and everybody enjoying it, because we get such wonderful comments that they're glad that they've attended the summit and what the summit represents. And I think that's exciting for Leslie and I to see that, because that was our mission from the very beginning, to be able to connect artists and give them something that they haven't been able to reach with not going to live conferences and stuff like that. So yeah, brought a
Right.
big community together.
It did. Yeah. It is. It's still happening. Yes.
Yeah.
And we have a really beautiful message from Sandy here too.
Okay.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sandy.
Sandy is, you're great, Sandy. She's been taking classes through A4A for a long time. And a special message to you, Sandy. I appreciate your support and your encouragement. She's always there, whatever functions we're doing, and we really appreciate that. It helps us keep going.
Yes. And Sandy is one that is very in a remote area.
Yes.
And so way out there. And so it's just so cool that she has full access to worldwide, presentations and teachers. And that's you can tell that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to bring art to everybody, no matter where you're at. So, that's to connect.
Well, Leslie, you said, Sandy's way up in Alaska, all alone. I can say that I feel her remoteness.
Yes.
There's many of us that, excuse me, there's many of us that are not so far away, but are still feeling very isolated.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
true.
Have
That is so true.
around us. I'm so sorry.
No problem. People want to get a hold of you, Ellen.
That's
This
it.
is like
They wanna-
people are like calling you right now because they want more.
And this is live. They want to talk to you now.
Right now. Yes,
Immediately.
absolutely. So we love hearing, so we know what you do with your art. We can see it, we visualize it, but there might be some things that we don't know about you. Do you have anything else that you have that's another interest?
No.
That was the perfect answer.
No, I absolutely, live my art.
Yeah,
You know what? I do like to cook. I do
yes.
like to cook when I have time. But, we just never have enough time.
I know. When you have ideas and you're doing art, there is never enough time. We have a lot to accomplish in this lifetime. Yeah.
I also I do. I like to travel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's very inspirational.
Yeah.
Just going to different places and when I travel, I don't like to go to cities. I like to go to the countryside.
Yeah. Yeah.
And see the nature, see, the earth. That's what gives me my joy and inspiration. That's where it's at, I think.
Yeah. I love that.
That's great. Yeah. Well, sometimes just getting away like that brings on great ideas.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're approaching our bewitching hour. I wanted to
Yes.
say that for those of you that have not had a chance to see the summer issue, there's great articles of all of our teachers in there, and we are just it's a great issue to find out a little bit more about our teachers and to see what other art pieces they created. And I have, let's see, here we are. I'm going to put this up so you can see it. So this is the issue cover here, and if you get a chance, take a look at what it has to offer. I think you'll be really pleasantly surprised. All the articles are fascinating and gives you a little bit more insight of each of the teachers.
I love that because, we have our set questions that we asked during the interview, and these are totally different questions. And so it gives you a whole other aspect of all the teachers. And I think it's, I just feel like the more you know about them then it just makes it, that's the connection again. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm going to check. I'm sure there's been some more comments that will be coming in. As Leslie mentioned, we have sometimes a big delay for the comments to come in. If you have any comments or questions, we will be able to see them and answer them later. So just go ahead and post them. That's not going to be a problem. It's been wonderful having you, Ellen. And we just so appreciate you being part of our summit this year. And we just want it to be exciting for you as much as it is for us.
Yes. Yeah.
It is exciting. And I just loved our little chat.
I know. It's always fun. It's always fun to see who joins us and the comments. So we'll probably have comments afterwards because this is recorded. Right. So everybody will be able to go back to the beginning and watch the whole thing again or see it. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So thank you, Ellen. We so appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thanks, Ellen.
All that you guys have been doing.
Yes.
Thanks.
It's a wonderful place to be.
Yes, it is.
It is a nice place to be. Thanks, Ellen. And we'll be talking to you soon.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, that was great.
Yes. Our teachers this year are just really rocking it. And I really feel that their answers to the questions are really thoughtful and, really they put some time into it to really be able to express themselves. And I really appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, and it brings them closer to the students that are interested in taking the class or already signed up for the class. They're starting to have, okay, we're back to connecting again.
Yes.
Really, in reality, that's what it is. So they get, it just feels a little bit more personal, instead of just paying for a class and that's it. You download it and that's the end. And it's not like that. That's not what we're trying to achieve here. We want everybody to enjoy themselves and it be a little bit more personal.
Right. And I think that's one of the really wonderful things about, like I said, you can download all the lessons and videos so you have them, but then you actually have the chance to connect to, in the Facebook group, and there's people now that, they've already commented, oh, I'm so glad you're here. I remember you from last year,
yes.
And so it's happening. Our mission is happening. And that is such a thrill for us. Yeah.
Well, it is. It is very exciting to see that. I know we put it out there last year with our fingers crossed that it was going to work for us.
Yeah.
And this year, I think we're really seeing it more than last year.
Yeah.
So that's really exciting. And our community, oh my gosh, I can't believe how it's growing.
I know. I think that is so wonderful. So if you guys have friends that are interested in art and interested in this group, invite them in because it is, we'll just kind of circle back. It's a really safe environment for you guys to be in. And Dell and I monitor the page very carefully to make certain that it stays positive and it stays, on the mission.
Yes.
So yes, definitely.
Well, this has been a great interview and thank you so much, everyone that has come in. And like we said, continue putting your comments, your questions, and we will get to them. We will answer you. And we do have another interview in about another hour with Maria Saracino. So hopefully you can jump in on that one as well.
Thanks, you guys. Remember, we appreciate you. Thank you.
We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.